What's going on, guys? It is Dave again. I am back today doing a build for a guy on my team at work. His name is Wes, and Wes is on a first gen Intel i5 or i7 and a GTX 970 with 8 gigs of RAM. That kind of sucks in today's time. He's been making it work as long as he can, but everything he plays is in 1440p, and a GTX 970 is not the most ideal card to use for that. He has told me he has tons of crashing, and he's finally breaking down and doing a new build. So he's never done water cooling before. He's always done air cooling. So I have a Corsair H100i that we are going to use to cool a 5600X. We paired the 5600X with an RTX 3070, and we're going to run it all on an Asus B550 ROG Strix motherboard. We have a 32 gig G.Skill Ripjaws kit running at 3200 megahertz and a Samsung 980 500 gig NVMe. Obviously 500 gigs is not that much. He has hard drives. He's going to use that to store all his games. The NVMe is just for the OS basically. To power that all, we have a Corsair RM750, and we are going to shove all of that inside a Phanteks Enthoo Pro TG case. One of the reasons I specifically spec'd this case out for Wes is he told me he has 4 3.5-inch hard drives. Most people don't have that. Most people are on 2.5-inch SSDs or NVMe drives. But this case supports 6 out of the box, which is more than enough for what he needs, and even allows some future expansion. So the case is great on thermals, and I'm really excited to build in this case again. This will be the 3rd time I'm building in it. I built my very first like full-blown gaming rig in this case. The Tank Warrior build is also done in this case, and it's just a good case. It's a little expensive at $110. To some people that's a little expensive, but it's really good. Thermally it's not bad. It's very open. You can do so much with it. It's a very versatile case, and I'm really looking forward to building this again. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, since it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. With that said, let's build. Since this case does not come with any case fans on the front, I removed the 2 120mm stock fans that came with the case in the rear and on the top, and mounted them to the front. I wanted to get an X570 board, but with how expensive graphics cards are currently, it was just not going to be possible with the budget I was given. So I settled on going with an Asus ROG Strix B550 motherboard. Wes is putting his current hard drives in this case, so there was not a need to purchase a bunch of storage. But to get fast boot times, Wes went with a Samsung 980 Pro PCIe Gen 4 500 gig NVMe SSD. It may not be the most powerful chip on the market right now, but the AMD Ryzen 5600X with 6 cores and 12 threads is more than sufficient to play any AAA title that Wes will throw at it. Right now, 16 gigs of RAM is still plenty to run basically every AAA game title that has come out in the last couple years and even this year, but Wes wanted to future-proof as much as he could, so he went with a 32 gig G.Skill Ripjaws DDR4 kit running at 3200 MHz. If you are going to run a radiator in this case, the only logical place to mount it is at the top. With the 5600X having the least amount of cores and threads compared to the rest of the unlocked 5000 series chips, a 240mm radiator should be plenty to cool the processor. Using some isopropyl alcohol, I clean off the pre-applied thermal paste Corsair puts on the pump and use Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut thermal paste on the processor. I then get the thumb and hook screws on the pump, but I make sure that they are only held on by a couple threads so that I can actually get them both on and screw them down gently until they are snug. I got really lucky getting this RTX 3070 because when I went to Micro Center to pick up other parts for Wes's build, they just happened to have 1 voucher left, so I got the card right on the spot. The Corsair RM750 has become my go-to power supply because it is the best value on the market for being fully modular, 750 watts, and all for $125. Once I got the power supply in, I got everything wired up, and finally I am done. I love how this build turned out. This case will probably remain as my all-time favorite case to build in because it is just simple and easy to work with. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.